You know, a lot of people have tried to figure me out, but the truth is I can't even figure myself out. You know, there's some some genetic snip that is quite telling of my behavior. I don't remember it off the top of my head, obviously, but it makes people do a lot of reckless things, seek that kind of behavior, whether it's reckless driving or some shit like this. And I couldn't tell you why, aside from it's just genetic. And you might be wondering, like, is reality clocking to me? Because this is a slant. I don't know if you could realize, but this is slanted, so it's actually quite simple to just fall off and die, you know? But I'm able to remain pretty calm in these kinds of situations. And I think it is a combination of genetics as well as a lot of exposure therapy, like being in doing my first Muay Thai fight, being an actor since I was young. Yeah, so I've always been in front of people on stage, in front of large crowds, having to put on a performance and all. And it's kind of made me numb to, at least in that aspect, what people think about me. So yeah, I just don't give a single fuck. But there's something else to it too, because, you know, I'm supposed to be afraid right now, but I'm not. Like every once in a while, maybe every 15 seconds, just for a millisecond, it'll clock to me and I'll get a little adrenaline jolt. But I'm mostly calm. It's like my amygdala isn't functioning perfectly, but it's not to the highest degree. Like there's that one rock climber who climbs without rope, without any gear. He has it to a much higher degree than me, but there's certainly something in my genetics that is a little bit off. I don't know if it's off, you know, like I've always said that every single trait you have is just a residue of evolution. And whether it's ADHD, anxiety, or depression, all of those traits once served a purpose in evolution. Like people with ADHD were able to, you know, shift their focus very easily. They could potentially have been on guard for the village. And people with depression were more likely to conserve energy, so they prevailed in tough times when food was scarce. The train's coming. I gotta get the phone. It's gonna get knocked over. It happened before. Yeah, almost lost my phone before because of the fucking train vibration going by. So yeah, I had to hurry up and get that because it will slide. You know, I don't know if you could tell, but it is slanted. That's what makes this more fun. You know, I get to feel a little bit alive today. A little bit. But yeah, obviously I'm wired a little bit differently than you guys, which is precisely why you shouldn't try to live like me. You shouldn't try to replicate every single thing I do. I might have some good advice here and there, but I am an outlier. And a lot of that's, you know, genetic. It's not something we control, really. I'm just an outlier, and I like that. Definitely happy with who I am. Honestly, I really live a great life. Like, very appreciative for everything. Yeah, life is good, man. A lot of people are probably looking at me like crazy because they're walking by right now, probably about to call the cops. Like, what the fuck is this kid doing? Because I'm dressed nice too, you know, like some kind of suicide costume. Yeah, but I'm not gonna. You know, the Stoics have an interesting relationship with. Oh, the train's coming again. Hold up. I was saying, the Stoics have an interesting relationship with suicide. They actually don't condemn it completely. It's very interesting. I'm not going to dive into that too much because it's not something that I want to promote. It's not something that my biology aligns with. And, you know, there's been things in Stoicism where my biology has not been aligned, and I've decided to be a little bit different. I've decided to accept that I have, it's not perfectly congruent with my biology, some aspects of Stoicism. For example, not desiring anything. I just don't think that's congruent with my biology. My biology, I believe, you know, it's okay that I'm overly ambitious, like Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great recognized that about himself too. Alexander the Great recognized that, and so when Diogenes was talking with him, he said to Diogenes, you know, if I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes. And some people will say, like, oh, he was trolling him, you know, he was joking, but he always respected Diogenes and all philosophers. And so I believe there's definitely a layer of truth in that. And he admired and respected that wisdom that Diogenes had, not desiring anything, but at the same time, Alexander the Great recognized that he's not that guy. He's not that nigga. He's Alexander the Great, and consequently, he's going to be ambitious. But he recognized if he wasn't Alexander the Great, he would wish to be Diogenes and not desire anything. Psyche beautiful here. I do have to get going though because there could be some narc that calls the cops on me, so I try not to stay in areas like this too long. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here, but it's beautiful, right? I had to share this moment with you guys. Yeah, let's head out.